Before using SoftTime Diamond SQL Server Edition, you will need to understand the different system roles and set up each user with the proper security access. SoftTime Diamond has 4 system roles: Employee, Department Administrator, Super Administrator, and Database Administrator. Let's start with the simplest role, Employee. A user with employee access can only see his own information. He cannot view other employees or other departments. An employee can only access his own information in read-only mode. He cannot add or change absences. He can view notes and absence details. An employee can also view his FYI screen. Here he can see how much absence time he has recorded, how much absence time he has allowed, and how much absence time he has remaining. He can also go to a particular absence category and see how his allowed time was accrued and acquired. An easy way to identify when an employee is accessing his information is to look at the color of the background screen. A dark gray background screen indicates that the employee is accessing his information in read-only mode. A department administrator can access all employees within his department. A department administrator can record absences, absence details, and adjust employee level information. A department administrator can also view FYI information. From the FYI screen, the department administrator can see the amount of absence time recorded, time allowed, and time remaining. He can also go into the individual absence categories and set the accrual rates, carryover time, and yearly allowance. Furthermore, a department administrator can view several employee reports and department reports. A department administrator can also access the leave approval system. Here, he can view leave requests from employees within his department. For each leave request, he can either approve it, deny it, or submit it back to the employee for a redraft. The super administrator has the highest level of access. When a super administrator logs on, he will be given a choice. He may either enter the system in a shared mode, or he can lock out all of the users. If the super administrator accesses the system in lockout mode, he will be able to fine-tune the system by adjusting various system settings. A system administrator can also access the holiday editor, set up and define user absence categories, adjust departments and add departments as necessary, as well as configure email settings. Furthermore, the super administrator is responsible for setting up the security access of all other users. To set security privileges, the super administrator assigns usernames and initial passwords to each user. He can then determine whether he wants the user to have employee access, department administration access, or to also be a super administrator. If the user has department access, the first step is to select the department and check it off. A blue check mark indicates that the user has full access to that department, including email. Clicking again will change it to a green box. A green check indicates that he has full access but no email access. Clicking again will change the checkmark to a yellow checkmark. A yellow checkmark indicates that the department administrator has read-only access to that department. A department administrator may have access to multiple departments with multiple different colored checkboxes. The final system role is that of the database administrator. The database administrator is a special role that works outside of the SoftTime Diamond application. This person is generally responsible for making sure that your database is functioning properly. This includes creating a SQL database, making sure the SQL server is operating smoothly, making sure the SoftTime SQL database is secured and accessible by all those that need to access it, and finally, making sure that it is backed up on a routine schedule. The database administrator can set up the common directory where information is shared. He is also responsible for setting up the ODBC connection, which is used to access the SQL database. He can also use the DB administration tool to update the system and fix any database structure changes or structure errors, as well as check the data for accuracy and indexes. If any problem is detected, he can simply fix the problems on an individual basis or fix them all by clicking on the appropriate button.